Ari, did you get a chance to look at the Coimbra high dose vitamin D protocol for MS and other autoimmune diseases? Well, Adrian, what you ask, Lukey basically did the high vitamin D thing and reversed his Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So he eliminated that problem. Autoimmunity is definitely very much associated with low vitamin D. But it's not only vitamin D, because vitamin D regulates has a role in regulating the immune system, but so does taurine. And by combining taurine and vitamin D plus an animal-based diet, you get the synergistic effects of the three. And so that's what you really need to do. I don't need to look at other people's protocols. I've got my own protocol, and it's a combination of animal-based, vitamin D, whether you're getting it from the sun directly. And Lukey was doing a lot of sunbaking, and that's how he got his. You got to by doing a lot of sunbaking, because you didn't take supplements. You did it the natural way. You got right up to the high of the normal, and pretty much activated all those genes, and were able to silence a number of genes and deal with the problem.
Yep, that's basically it. Best thing I did for myself.
Exactly. And even Terry Walsh, she was doing vitamin D, and she was also doing a lot of organ meats.
Yep.
And organ meats are going to give you a lot of nutrients. So MS, it's not only that, it's also people for a very long time. You don't see it in tribal populations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, MS also has some level of demyelination.
Yes.
Well, if you're not consuming enough animal foods and not getting enough of the precursors for proper nerve function, well, that's going to be an issue in ALS, MS, and a lot of neurological disorders. So one thing you want to do is silence the genes and turn off the autoimmunity with vitamin D, but then you want to regulate the immune system with taurine, and then you want to provide all the nutrient-dense foods that are required. And this is where I view organ meats in higher amounts in these stages as a good thing. Not long-term doing high organ meats continuously, but if you've come with a lot of deficiencies and you're really unhealthy, it's a good thing. Rather than take a multivitamin, just eat a mix of organ meats. You'll get a lot of nutrition, and you'll beef up your nutrition and provide the precursors for your enzymes to work properly and everything else. And if you do that, high amounts of organ meats for 6 months and all that to a year, you will really fix up a lot of your health problems. And then after that, you can just go on to muscle meats, some eggs, and a few other things here or there, some seafood or whatever. And that's at that stage, you're in a maintenance sort of stage, sun and, ruminant animals and some other seafood and other things to mix it up a bit in terms of nutrition. But ultimately, most people, what they do is they notice whether they get on a carnivore diet and fix up their vitamin D status, so they're getting the nutrients that they need. Things like bipolar and many other things go away. Amber O'Hearn is a good example of bipolar. Autoimmune diseases like the severe stuff that Michaela Pedersen had also went away with the same thing. And she also makes sure that she maintains a good vitamin D level plus animal foods. So it's a combo. It's not just one thing. It's a combination of these things. And obviously, getting out in the sun, if there is sun around, exploit that. It's better to do that way. And in the sort of wintry months, you have to succumb. And I usually, the only stuff that I do promote to people is the stuff which is pretty much coconut based. We don't want any of the seed oil based vitamin D stuff. And if you can't get any coconut based, maybe you can't access 23andMe, iHerb or any of that sort of stuff. And then what you can do is you can get those supplements which are like in the the chalky pills. They've got vitamin D in the chalky pills, and obviously they don't have any fat because it's a fat soluble vitamin. What you can do is you can consume them with cream. So you swallow them down and take a bit of cream. So that's another option, in that regard.